Turn out the lights, the Pac-12 party's over. They say that all good things must end. We're going to get into the last weekend of the Pac-12, as it once was, and give you the latest on the USC search for its next defensive coordinator on this episode of Trojans Talk on Tap.
Go Trojans go, LBC pouring Cardinal and gold. The next man up is the next Heisman. Only bleed USC, yes we've been built to win. Catch roses while we ball all across the map. Too strong, fight on as Trojan Talk on Tap.
Welcome back to another episode of Trojans Talk on Tap. So glad to have you back here. Please pardon the singing. If some of you that are a little bit older may recognize that tune, Dandy Don Meredith and Monday Night Football. And that was it. That was, with one game left, the Pac-12 championship. That is the last weekend of the Pac-12 regular season. We're going to get into that. But first, giving you an update, it's late Monday afternoon. Before I came on, there was still no confirmation on USC's next defensive coordinator. It's been rumored. There's been discussions with Jim Leonhard for the past week, a little over a week. And as soon as we hear something, we'll be going live, whether it's Jim Leonhard or another choice for USC's defensive coordinator. So that's why you want to make sure you hit the subscribe button, like and share with your friends. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving Day weekend. I had an awesome weekend getting to spend time with family and friends. Very thankful for this channel and all of the college football fans and Trojans that have subscribed. Appreciate your support. Go ahead and drop me notes in the comments. Let me know what you would like to see as we move into the offseason, what type of content you prefer. We've got a lot of stuff lined up and some great changes going on. Always looking to improve the channel, so appreciate your feedback. As I'd mentioned before, it was Thanksgiving Day weekend. There was no USC game. And so with that being said, I got to see a lot of football, starting off with Friday night and the Civil War. And Oregon took down top 16 ranked Oregon State in the Civil War, 31-7. And shortly thereafter, Jonathan Smith took the Michigan State coaching gig less than 24 hours after losing the game to Oregon. It was reported today that he had been in discussions with Michigan State for quite some time. You got to love Jonathan Smith, perfectly candid. And why not? Right now, Oregon State and Washington State are in a court battle to preserve what's left of the Pac-12, which is now the Pac-2 or the 2-Pac. Those two teams trying to win the battle to retain the future revenues that are coming to the conference. And the latest development is the Washington Supreme Court moved up the date to have all the briefs filed by Monday, December 4th, next week, which is also the first date of the transfer portal. And you can see that Oregon State's going to have a tough time because it's reported that Jonathan Smith has taken 5 of his coaches with him to Michigan State. This is the first domino to fall. The coaching carousel is in full spin cycle right now. Indiana last night just fired their head coach, Tom Allen. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to look at Washington State's head coach, Jake Dickert. Seems like he would be a natural fit and also have motivation to want to move out of the Pac-12, now the Pac-2. There is little direction for those two schools, and the national narrative is to feel sorry for them. They made a decision. It was the wrong decision, and we'll get into that. That's what turning out the lights on the Pac-12 party is all about, and ESPN is one of the culpable parties. So with that being said, let's talk about it. How many of you watched the last game of the Pac-12 or any other Pac-12 games this weekend? Let me know. Drop a line in the comments. Which was your favorite game? Washington Also earned its trip to the Pac-12 championship game by narrowly defeating their rival Washington State in the Apple Cup 24-21. They will be facing Oregon on Friday in Las Vegas. It'll be number 3 undefeated 12-0 Washington versus number 5 Oregon at 11-1. A lot on the line, a berth in the college football playoff, and possibly a Heisman winner, as Michael Penix Jr. will be going against Bo Nix. I like the Ducks in this game and the Ducks to roll by more than 10 points. Now, getting to the game that I actually watched with a couple of Cal Bear fans was the UCLA Cal game. And if you tuned in to the Pac-12 chat show live last Wednesday, I predicted that, crazy things happen in the Pac-12 and Cal would be motivated to win this game and that they would roll and earn their 6th win and go to a bowl game. And that they did. They beat UCLA 33-7. They will never play in another Rose Bowl game, that being the California Golden Bears. But they did punk UCLA in the last game, 33-7. And now Chip Kelly's seat is hotter than ever. And you would have to think that UCLA is justified to make a move now. But they may use USC's Hilton effect and do absolutely nothing until next year. Kind of hope they do nothing. But anyhow, let me know if you think Chip Kelly should be fired. Drop it in the comments. And I don't know if anybody watched it, but ESPN, they crack me up. They really do. They had their 6th or 7th string broadcast team. And no offense to Dave Fleming, the play-by-play guy, and his color commentator, former ASU quarterback Brock Osweiler. They're just getting paid to do a job. They are pawns. They are pawns in the ESPN network regime. And I couldn't tell you. You had to hear Bill Walton with the intro rattling off. I can't even tell you what he said. All I heard was Conference of Champions, and I laughed. But that's Bill Walton, and that's ESPN. They thought that was cute. But we had to hear about how it was difficult to see this conference going away and how could that happen. You know damn well how it happened. Your bosses at ESPN basically created this deal. All right, they didn't negotiate in good faith with the Pac-12 for a TV contract. The Big 12 swooped in, got a deal done. Credit to them. But then ESPN didn't work to make a deal with the Pac-12 and the new commissioner, George Kliavkoff. Now, I know there was a lot of mistakes by Larry Scott over the years, but ESPN was playing hardball. And if you believe University of Washington President Anne-Marie Cauchi, shortly after Washington left for the Big Ten on that Black Friday, I believe it was August 4th, she had said there was a deal on the table, a linear deal, as well as a deal with Apple. But that deal was pulled off the table by ESPN shortly after Colorado left to go to the Big 12 in late July, shortly after Pac-12 Media Day. Whether you believe that or not, ESPN, it's just, I don't even want to hear that noise. But Washington State and Oregon State did not find a home this last weekend in the Pac-12. Ironically, you had Colorado losing to Utah, and you had Arizona destroying ASU in the Territorial Cup. Those 4 teams will be moving on to the Big 12 next year, and going to the Big 10 will be Washington, Oregon, UCLA, and USC, and Cal Stanford will be making its way across the country to be new members of the ACC conference. So that leaves Washington State and Oregon State battling to stay relevant and to retain the name of the Pac-12. They've got 2 years to get their membership over 8 teams. And there's a struggle because they don't even know what their athletic destiny is, where they're going to play next year. And that is a challenge for those 2 teams. I'm sorry, but it's a business. And those two teams, as well as 8 others, wanted equal revenue sharing. Back when Larry Scott created the Pac-12 back in 2011, all teams are not created equal, and that's coming to roost. Just like in business, If you're a successful salesperson and you have a certain commission structure, you rely on that. That's because of your hard work and your ability to close deals and generate revenue for the company. If you have a new manager or new president that comes in and says, you know what, we're going to go ahead and reduce your commission schedule for all of those making 5%. Everybody's going to be making 3% from now on, moving forward, making it equal. Well, guess what? That won't last, because those top salespeople will soon be looking for another opportunity with another company to basically earn the same type of split or even higher. Those successful salespeople will be cherished. They'll be valued by other businesses for their services. Much like USC and UCLA, they were valued for their services by the Big Ten, and they are going to be making substantially more. So, same thing. I'll use another example: rock and roll. The Beatles broke up, probably because of money. Usually, when there's a problem and people break up, it's because of money. Don't fool anybody. But look at the Rolling Stones. They survived. You know why? God bless his soul, Charlie Watts and Ron Wood. They were the Washington State and Oregon State of the Rolling Stones. And because they knew their place and their value, they stuck with Mick and Keith. Mick and Keith generated the money for the Rolling Stones. And they got along. And they're still rocking and rolling. And the Pac-12 could be rocking and rolling. But you know what? Those greedy teams, hey, pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered. And Washington State is getting slaughtered as well as Oregon State. Sorry about that. Sucks to be you. But hey, ESPN helped destroy the Pac-12 along with a couple other people. And those people are Larry Scott, George Kliavkoff, Michael Crow, and the Pac-12 presidents. They each, all of them, had a hand in destroying the Pac-12. I enjoyed it. It was great. But business is business. It's nothing personal. It's just business. Let me know what you think. Who was the one that destroyed the Pac-12? Was it ESPN? Was it Larry Scott? Was it Kliavkoff, the Pac-12 presidents, Michael Crow, who extended Larry Scott? Or was it a combination? All in all, hey, good night, Pac-12. It was good knowing you. And now for this episode of I'm here to upgrade your holiday beer. And what I got for you is, any coincidence? The Pac-12 is dead, and there was a butcher or butchers. And this beer is the Butcher Imperial Stout. It's dark, it's roasty, it's sinister. 9.666% ABV from Society Brewing in San Diego, California. That's kind of odd. I've never had a beer that's 9.666. Is it the devil? Is Larry Scott the sinister one? If so, is ESPN dark? And Kliavkoff, is he roasty? Because he got roasted and toasted. And check out this beer right here. Don't normally drink stouts, but the holiday season, I do. It's a perfect time of the year. This is going to have chocolate notes, coffee. Oh my goodness. That is tasty. That's going to be phenomenal. Definitely get chocolate notes, very full flavored. It hides the booze very, very well. My suggestion is you get a lot of those holiday cookies coming over at Christmas time, the holiday parties. Get yourself a good Imperial Stout. The Butcher would be a good choice to upgrade your holiday beer. Also be a great gift for those craft beer drinkers that are in your family or good friends of yours. With that, enjoy the Butcher, enjoy your evening, and fight on, Trojans.